From hunting, gathering to growing food. Here we are going to see its introduction part, then how the earliest peoples were living, then why did they begin to move, and how the farming and herding has been started. After the domestication of animal was there, that is also we are going to see. Then the farming has been started, and people begin to live in permanent houses, then about tools and their pottery, and finally life in early villages. So basically here from hunting and gathering to growing food, it means from hunting and gathering to a settled life we are going to see. The whole chapter is about this, and let us start the topic. So this chapter explains how early humans transitioned from being hunter-gatherers to food producers. This change was one of the most important developments in the human history and marked the beginning of agriculture and settled life. So after going through the chapter, we will understood how the agriculture has been begin and people just live a settled life. So the earliest peoples were the hunter and gatherers. Early human lived by hunting animals and gathering plant, fruits, nuts and roots. They moved from place to place in search of food, water and shelter. They used stone tools to hunt and gather. So this was the earliest phase of the people where human beings were hunters and they gather plant and fruit, and they move from place to place in search of food, water and shelter, and they use stone tools to hunt and gather. After that we will see that now they begin to move also. Now what is the reason behind it, why they were moving from one place to another? So since they have animals also, so animals move for grass and water and hunters used to follow them. And plant and trees bore fruit in different seasons. Moreover, at one place what happened, the plant and trees just bear the fruit, and the season, as soon as the season is over, the fruits are over. So they don't get food to eat. That's why they used to move from one place to another. They needed water for rivers or lake also. Now since the people, human beings need water also, so sometimes what happens, these rivers or lakes, they just get dried up or they are unseasonal. So this reason also they used to move from one place to another. And to avoid natural disaster or dangerous animal, the people used to begin to move also. Finally, to explore new land. So these are the reasons why the people used to move from one place to another. Okay, so I have already given here 5 reasons, and this is really important from the examination point of view also. Now let us see, now they have moved also, now the beginning of farming and herding. So around 12,000 years ago, people noticed grains grew from spill seeds. An animal could be tame and bred. So 12,000 years ago, human beings are quite just clever, isn't it? So they noticed that grains grew from spill seeds, and they also found that animal could be tame and can be bred. This marked the start of domestication. Now they think we can just tame the animal also, and it can be used for our own purpose also. So in this way, domestication of animal has been started. So what is domestication? The process of taming animals, it means training them, and growing plants for human use is called domestication. So first animals were domesticated were dogs, and later on sheep, goats and cattle were domesticated. And first crops that were grown were wheat and barley in places like Suleiman and Kirtar hills. Okay. So in this way domestication has been started, and first dog was domesticated, later on sheep, goat and cattle. And wheat and barley were the first crop that they begin to grow. Okay. Now, and now the growing of these grains has been started. Farming, development of farming is there. So people began to stay in one place to take care of crops. Now since their crops were there, they begin to stay in one place, and it led to the beginning of villages and settled life. Now they can't able to leave the crops, as the crops are going to be harvested also, isn't it? Now they begin to live a settled life, and in this way slowly and slowly the family increases, and it just take a form of the villages and a settled life. Farming needed water for irrigation, tools to dig and harvest, and time and patience also. Okay, not only this, development of farming also need water and tools and time and patience also. Now we will see how people begin to live in permanent houses. So people built mud house and thatch houses near field. They store surplus food in clay pots or basket. Communities form, leading to social bonding and cooperation. So in this way, what happened? People begin to build mud and thatch houses, and they store surplus food also. And in this way, they begin to build communities and leading to a social bonding and cooperation. Apart from it, what else do they find? So sites of early farmers and had just herders reveal that Mehergarh, that is in Pakistan, is a famous site where early farming started. So here, from the sites, just it has been found that Mehergarh was in Pakistan, and here early farming was started. And what were the tools found there? Stone sickles, grinding stones, fire pits, and bones were there. So people were buried with their belongings, suggests belief in afterlife also. Not only this, some people were buried, the dead bodies and some remains also found with their belongings, which suggests that the people may believe that they may get afterlife also with their belonging. So with their belonging they were buried. So these things were found, okay. Now let us see what were the tools and potteries they were using. So tools were made of stone, bone and later copper. So first of all stone was used to just make the tools, and then later where the bone of animals were used, and then later copper. So pottery was used for storing grains, cooking and eating. And pottery became more decorative over time. Slowly and slowly these potteries were becoming more decorative and over the time, and people use this pottery for storing grains and cooking and eating. Okay, so these were the tools and pottery. Now how the life in early villages were there. Since now they have been settled, they are doing farming also. So people share work life, like they were doing farming, herding, tool making and pottery making. Okay, so now they only not are just busy with the agriculture, but they are doing the herding also, tool making and pottery making also. They may have formed early trade system also, and in this way the children learn by watching elders. So children also begin to learn how to do farming, how to do herding, and how to make tools, how to make pottery. So in this way the life of the villages just goes on. So here, from hunting and gathering to growing food, we have seen how the peoples were hunter and gatherers, and later on they have been leading a settled life. So this period is important because it laid the foundation of civilization, and farming allowed people to live in one place, leading to villages, town and eventually cities. It shows the beginning of technology, society and culture. So finally, farming allowed people to live in one place, and in this way the villages grown, and the villages again technology came, development was there, then it had been just developed into towns and eventually cities. Not only this, it also helped and show the beginning of technology, society and culture. So this was our chapter from hunting gathering to growing food. So I have covered the chapter, just given you a quick overview of the chapter. In detailed explanation was there. So this much for today. Let us meet with the next topic in the next video.